showing up every day. Like, how do you think about that? What are some of like the habits you have to kind of just show up, even now, if you don't have like leads on your pipeline, like essentially when you finish like whatever clients you're working on right now, you're not gonna have like work. So what is that? What happens there? Like, what are some of the habits you formed in the last couple of years just to like showing up consistently?
Yeah. So its consistency is like very important to me personally, because in the past, like I was like very impatient, and I used to like we all have that like shiny object syndrome, where we see something new and we just go towards that new tech or new laptop, everything, and any new business opportunities, we try to go towards that. And at some point I realized like it's actually hurting me trying to jump on any new thing. So now on Twitter it's like subscription agency, that's the new fad, like everyone is going for. So after a point I realized that's not how it's going to work. Fortunate enough, I realized at the very beginning of my agency career, and then I made a decision that if I cannot do a thing for 90 days, I'm not going to start it. Like I'm not even going to bother to begin it. And that has helped me a lot, because everything, like even being in like community, being in a community activities, being in a business, you just have to be there consistently. Like even if it's not working out, you have to be there, try to make it work. And that actually shows people that you are legit, you are not you are a serious guy, you have been there. That's why companies actually write like Edgar Allan is in business for like last 15 years, 10 years. That shows the trust, that builds the trust actually, because you have been like consistently there running and doing the things for like last 15 years. So that's actually kind of a brand building activity where you are there daily.
And it's important to, for me, like these sort of like live streams, and being on Twitter and wherever like people are on like different Slack channels. Like the agency is over 10 years old. I've been only here for less than a year, but I've known the agency for much longer, right? Because Mason was like on Twitter just doing stuff. Knockout was released, and people talk about like, well, okay, what is this? Then letter run was released, and what is letter run? How does that work? Like, you just gotta kind of be there. And for me, and how I got connected with Edgar Allan, how I started working here, it was sort of the same thing that you're saying. Like I was doing my thing, working in Webflow at another company, but also like doing, I was like in one of the Webflow Conf speaker back like 2 years ago, and just by chatting with the Webflow team on Twitter and getting to know people and being available. And it's like you start to build out your network, and people are like, okay, this person exists, and it's not just a person that threw out a tweet one day and then nothing happened. And then that's how I knew Edgar Allan, and they knew me, and then we were like, hey, let's do something together. But that doesn't happen if you didn't do like the years of work that got you to that moment.
I call it like making your own luck. You don't get lucky. You have to put yourself out there. You have to put your word out there. And then one day you will get like lucky. It's like, because like, suppose like year from now, somebody looks at this live stream and they are looking for something like some profile like me, they will reach out to me. So like, I didn't get lucky at that point. I actually like, we made an effort, and then it will lead to kind of things you want in this world. So
and there's a quote I had to look up as you were saying this, because I wanted to say it right, which is like, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Which is just essentially doesn't exist. It's just you're prepared, and the opportunity showed, like, appeared at the time when you were ready to take advantage of it. So totally agree with you. And And yeah, I can see it in my own journey. I can see it like in Edgar Allan's journey. I can see it in your journey and how we are now talking about this, because one day you
Yeah.
joined a stream and you dropped a message in the chat. I remember, we were talking, I don't remember with whom, and you just dropped a question in the chat, and then you reached out to me on Twitter, and now we're here, right? Like, I don't know, whatever,
Yeah.
6 months later. So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of being there. And for me, I really, really enjoy kind of talking with people like you that are kind of showing up every day, because that's like, I was given that was like by people seeing me show up and giving me opportunities. I want to kind of do the same for others. So it's
Yeah.
just like a cycle, and
Cycle.
that
Yeah.
that continues on. And you did mention something about like, not during the live stream, but we were having a conversation the other day about thinking long term, even when you're like super early